Face masks are required by everyone, students, staff.
People should be getting tested more often due to the spike that we are seeing.
And it may cause overwhelming feelings of helplessness or despair.
Drastically reduced the quality of life for millions of kids.
Sports and extracurricular activities are still shut down for the time being.
Officials say administrators should be prepared for potential outbreaks.
The work that you are assigned during this adaptive pause is required work.
Okay, my name is Jacqueline Brucky. I'm a senior at LP High School, and yeah. So from what I've heard is that LP is going to host a promenade. So basically everybody will get dressed up in their prom stuff, walk across the stage, and then I think there's a parent committee that's actually going to host a prom that's like not LP sponsored.
Yeah.
So if anybody gets COVID, they can't blame the school. That's the real reason.
Yeah, my name is Jeremy Gowitz, and I am the superintendent at Midland School District, and I've been here since '04. I graduated from Midland, so that's what makes it more dear to my heart. Is I have a vested interest in this community. I think more so than normal, just because I want to make the place where I came from extra special for everybody else.
Going into the school year, it was a matter of the unknown. I mean, many teachers, we are very routine oriented. I'm Roddy Jansen. I'm fourth grade teacher here in Peru Elementary at Northview. I've been here 20 years, and I've been doing fourth grade for 20, even fourth grade for 20 years.
My name is Savannah Gaddis. I'm in 7th grade and I go to the ROE alternative program.
My name is Sophia Hamrick. I am in 7th grade. I go to Washington Oglesby Public Schools, and I'm a remote learner during this COVID time.
We know people didn't sign up for what we're asking people to do. It's been incredible. You think back to March of last year.
A stay-at-home order.
Everywhere and anywhere.
Toilet paper!
Trying to figure a plan that would be safe, be good for students. And there's been a lot of work that's happened getting into March and going through this year with the changes that have happened. And I think at really the forefront of what our schools have been doing is how do we create a safe environment that provides the services that students need.
The best way to describe it is like we're building the plane as it's flying. There's no roadmap to follow.
I don't want to say it's weird, but it was different because it's like, okay, are we going to go back? Like, should I prepare to go back to school next week? Or are we going to figure out on Friday that Monday we're not going to go back?
I mean, that was a big concern. And the other concern obviously was the content and materials. There's the presidents. Here's our presidents.
Oh my God, he has a big nose.
Only being in school, 2 out of 5 days is 40% of the week.
I didn't expect it to come this far.
Ava, Violet. There you go, Izzy. That a girl. All right, you get extra credit.
It's been interesting as we've worked with administrators. There's been a lot of Saturday, Sunday meetings and discussions, and sharing best practice or ideas. I think what we come back to is each school is different.
It was crazy. We had to do Zoom meetings. I didn't like it.
They're not allowed to use any balls. They're not allowed to go on the playground equipment. I mean, it's kind of like prison.
It's been weird. It's been weird, especially since last year when we all had to shut down.
Paperwork, phones, getting records, getting test results. That's mainly what I've been doing. It's just COVID all year.
I can tell you what I thought was going to be hard that wasn't, and that was math. What type of math breaks? How long should math breaks be? And the students are fantastic with the masks.
You say a joke, and did they smile or did they just kind of stare blankly at you? It's hard to tell.
For basketball, it's like you have to keep a mask on. That's kind of hard to run up and down the court, guard people, and not try to eat your mask.
Every desk has to get cleaned because up until March, we were eating lunch in the classroom.
The janitors can tell you what's a good lunch and what's a bad lunch. Find a lot of garbage. The kids like this, they didn't like that.
Hand sanitizer. I've never had so much hand sanitizer on my hands or out and available.
Spirit fingers. We do a lot of elbow bumping.
Well, we're disinfecting more. We're in the bathrooms 2-3 times a day, sometimes more than that.
We can contact trace who was in the restroom with whom, at what time. We have face shields for every student on their chairs. When we were outside, we had a rotation. We maintained 6 feet, so small groups, processes and protocols for everything here.
Good morning, Leland. This is Gunnar Swenson,
Owen Bray,
Autumn Christensen, and remember, excellence has no finish line.
Oh, you guys killed it. Nice job, nice job, nice job.
And the teachers were very adamant that, these are our kids, and when this is all over, we're going to get them again. So we want full control over the curriculum. Now, hindsight of that, a lot of work.
When we were full remote, wasn't ideal, wasn't perfect.
When they first shut us down, they told us to take everything from our lockers, but I was in a nursing class at that point and didn't want to walk all the way back to the building, so I just left it there. Then we got shut down, didn't come back, and so they ended up having to take all of our lockers and giving us in garbage bags.
The technology being such a key factor, I felt it was huge to learn so much more about technology and ways to present the material to them.
I've met the math teacher. He's new this year. I've only met him on the meets, so I haven't really met them. Yeah, I'd really like to meet my teachers in person.
Not being able to see anyone, and that is kind of mentally hard sometimes on some people, and that's just, we can't control it.
They sat 5 hours online, 3 hours in the morning, we took an hour lunch break, and we came back for 2 more hours in the afternoon. It wasn't the most ideal for us as teachers. It's the best we can do right now.
Teaching during the day, and then after that, trying to jam pack a full day for remote kids from 2:30 to 4, and probably at night as well. But that's just what they do.
They were doing it pretty well, and I thought, okay, this is how it's going to be. Then they changed it in the middle of the year, and then they changed it again.
So we started back. We were here for a couple weeks, and then they released all the IDPH guidelines of, any symptom you're staying home for, the siblings are going home. So then it was a big change for them.
I didn't expect a lot of the concerns about how many times they can be quarantined and why they were quarantined. We're doing the best we can. You have to justify every move you make. This school did this way, this school did it this way. So you just cross your fingers and hope that you made the right decision. And in your gut, you feel like you did. That's all you can do because there's no roadmap out there.
Bouncing from all of those places and then coming back full remote, it's all been about flexibility and changes. And myself, I've learned a lot.
We used to go 2 days a week, blended hybrid learning. When everyone came back recently, the very first day, there were lines out of every single door.
We started this year not knowing what to expect, so we just kind of gritted our teeth, because we also understand that some of the kids desperately need to be at school. Not just because of grades, but also for resources, because I think a lot of people don't realize how big of a resource schools can be.
Having a good experience as far as a student and being safe and feeling loved goes a long way. And I think unless you have that student doesn't care about algebra. If they have to go home and there's issues there, or they're struggling something mentally, the curriculum doesn't matter at that point. So we got to get them on track to be successful.
And when you look at what work was done, it wasn't just let's just get by. It's how can we do this good? And how can we really make a difference with the needs of students during this time?
It was to make sure that people were safe and that they were fed. And you got to worry about the basic needs before you can start moving on from there.
School started getting back up and running. I started failing really bad. And then I was surprised I passed 6th grade. And then then I went into 7th grade doing fine. Then I started failing.
I used to fall asleep, which I would never do before, in the middle of the day.
Because I know people struggle really hard with online learning and they get overwhelmed, and I sometimes offer hey, if you need any help, let me know. I'm always here.
Not knowing your kids as well as you typically would. You still didn't get to recognize them, who they were as people.
I was miserable all day, every day, because being on the computer made me tired, not wanting to do anything. I would stay in my room all day on my phone.
we're going over a year now that kids are resilient, but they're still people, and that's what I fear the most is the mental effects of all this.
The remote learning, I think that has taken a chunk out of a lot of kids' self-esteem, because that's where they gain it at school, because it's where they meet friends. It's where they're able to kind of learn how to navigate.
I don't have a good sense of where a lot of the freshmen are at or who they are, because some of them I haven't seen. I haven't seen them interact with people.
I had a lot of childhood issues, and that's what really made me not work motivated and school motivated. But like coming here made me realize that all the wonderful people in the world can really help you. Mr. Olson's a great teacher. You're a wonderful, I don't know what you do.
Truancy officer.
Truancy officer. It's always fun when you come in the classroom.
She's kind of like flowered a little bit when it comes to confidence, and it's really nice to see that, especially because I could see that she was struggling when she first got here. I think academically she's been doing a lot better.
We're managing risk, doing what we were told was safe to do, but still going out with an unknown because there was a need out there. We still had to get students food, we still had to get technology, and we had to find a way to talk with students and make sure that their needs were being met.
I guess if I was in front of my students right now with that question of the uncertainty and what it's going to look like and what is the new normal going to look like, throughout life you're gonna hit patches of adversity. That's just the nature of life, and that's what I would want our students to know, is that it's going to happen, and it's how you respond to it. So you're going to be a tougher person coming out of this, and that's what I keep telling our staff and students is, this is not a great situation, but I know there are going to be some positives out of it, and that's going to be, we're going to be a closer family, we're going to be stronger, and you're going to be more confident because of what you went through this year.
I love my job. It's going to be okay. You got into the system to be able to teach kids. You got into the system to be able to understand how to have students learn from you. Well, part of learning from us just isn't the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. Part of the learning that needs to be done is also the human side of it. And it's okay. You're going to be fine.
Our region really stepped up, and it's one that they put their own, I guess, concerns aside because there was a greater need and I think a desire to do what kids and students needed. And it's admirable, and you need to be recognized. It was hard work, it was scary work, but it was the right thing to do, and we've done a lot of good because of the efforts of these people.
I think it's going to recalibrate their love for teaching. I really do. And so hopefully that teacher shortage starts to turn around a little bit, and we'll get more people that want to get involved and see the importance of education, because it's the foundation of everything. Regardless of what you go into, it starts with education.
people enough. If you work in a school setting, you've really stepped up this year. You've done things that nobody asked you or prepared you to be able to do. You've really made a difference in students' lives. It's been positive. And this year, we're just recognizing the work of everybody that works in the school setting. We thank you, and we appreciate everything that you've done.